For seniors, it's their last opportunity to play at the United Supermarkets Arena, and they're still looking for their first Big 12 conference win. So what are you challenging the team with ahead of this game?
There's not a whole lot that I'm really going to say because at this point, one, if I'm tired of hearing myself talk, then I know they are. But two, what more can you say? The night speaks for itself. You're trying to win a Big 12 game at home, for the first time all season in front of fans that have been incredibly supportive of you for 4 years. There's nothing that I can say that should inspire or motivate these guys at this point. This is a special night for them. This is the end of their basketball careers for 4 women. And, in itself, that has to mean something to them.
Will substitution patterns be a little bit different for this one to get them more minutes, or is it just going to be business as usual?
No. I'm going to talk to them about it. My goal, my plan is to start the 4 of them because that is something, that we can control early. But that's up to them. I'm going to ask them if that's what they would like to do. That's what I would love to do. But if that's not what they want to do, then I won't do that, and then we'll just keep it the same.
As far as Kansas State, what were some of the challenges that they presented you with last time? And I guess if you can work, because it's Sunday, what do you do to work against them? I guess they're more of a zone team. Right?
Yeah, we're working, Mike. Sunday, fun day. So we're going to practice here in a little bit. But their zone, because they're so long, they play 1-3-1 and they play a 2-3, but it's different than other zones that we've seen because of their length. They're very, very long and they extend. So Angel had a lot of problems with them. And so the cool thing is that we have spent a lot of time working on zone and being trapped and being pressed because of OU and TCU. So she's a lot better now than she was the first time we played Kansas State. I think she has a lot more confidence now than round 1. But they're linked in their zone.
Can you talk about Goff and Williams and the problems that they pose?
Yeah, we struggle with pick and pop players, with face-up post players like Williams. It's because our post players, we don't like to leave the paint. So she really hurt us with that. And then Goff is just a smart kid. She's just a smart player. So we gave her too much respect as a shooter, and then she started going backdoor on us. So we have those issues that we're going to address today. Show them those backdoor clips. But with Williams, we just struggle with face-up post players because we don't like to leave the paint. So if you don't want to leave the paint tomorrow, then you're not going to leave the bench. I don't really know what else to tell you. So we got to do a much better job defending those 2 kids.
Would you like to see your team be more aggressive, like the whole 4 quarters? The other night you only had 4. And the night before, the game before, you had a game where you only had 5 points in a quarter. And then it seemed like the second half, when they got more aggressive and weren't afraid to take the 3, that they scored more points.
I don't know if it's aggressiveness, Chuck. It's, I would like us to be consistent for 4 quarters. I would like us to play hard for 4 quarters. I would like us to play with effort for 4 quarters. I would like us to have great attitudes and energy for 4 quarters. And when we do that, like we did against Texas, when we at Kansas, good things happen when we do that. When we play hard for 3 quarters or 2 quarters, then we play well for 3 quarters or 2 quarters. So it's not necessarily an issue of aggressiveness as much as it is just consistent effort, energy, and attitude. We just are not talented enough to be able to take plays and possessions off. Other teams might have that luxury, but we don't. We are at our best when we are playing with energy and effort, when we play hard.
Can you talk about just the seniors a little bit and what each one has kind of brought to the team in your mind?
Sure. I'll start with Brielle. She's a very passionate young woman. She's an artist, a talented artist. I don't know if very many people know that. And then, so her passion and her art, it comes out on the court. She plays with a great deal of emotion. We've tried really hard to not not stifle that emotion or passion, but to just kind of channel it in the right direction. And I think she's really matured in that sense. She's playing with more poise. Dio is a kid who the light has really come on for her the last few weeks. She's putting in a lot of extra work. She's been really consistent about going to shoot-arounds early, even when we're on the road, taking a graduate assistant and a Uber. I think that's awesome. I think she probably wishes that she would have figured this out earlier in her career, but she didn't, and that's okay. I'm pretty good about accepting people for where they are. And so she's able to play some of her best basketball down the stretch, and I'm happy for her. Ayanna is just, you want to talk about consistency. She's just one of the most consistent kids I've ever coached in 19 years. You know what you're going to get from her day in and day out. She's consistently our leader in the power of touch. We track power of touch every day in practices and games. She's consistently our leader in that. Her work ethic, it doesn't matter if she gets in one possession or not at all. Her attitude and approach to the game is the same. I have a tremendous amount of respect for kids that don't play hard but still bring it every single day in practice, and that would be her. And then lastly, Jada. I've spoke so much about her, so highly of her, just how she's really stepped up in the last 2 months, her leadership, her work ethic. She's just much more intentional with what she's doing each day. And I really value her. And she's going to be one kid who's going to be able to look back and say that she has no regrets, over what she's done with her senior year.
Always looking to kind of set goals in the games, especially this one being the last regular season at home. Have you talked to the girls about what you really want to accomplish against Kansas State?
Not yet. So we got home last night from Oklahoma, and we are going to meet at 3 o'clock. But I can tell you that we have to defend them better than we did. And so we're going to start with that, with our defense. And then we just really have to do a better job of taking care of the ball against their press. We had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter that were critical. We were only down 3 in the fourth quarter, and then those 4 turnovers led to, 8 points. By them. So those are the 2 big goals for me. And just, I don't talk a lot about winning and losing because that's just something that sometimes you just can't control. But it sure would be nice to win tomorrow night. I would love that for this team and for the seniors, and most importantly, for the folks in Lubbock, like I said, who have been incredibly supportive of us through this transitional year. Yeah, now we have talked about that, and here's the deal, is that some people leave a legacy as like I just saw the Michigan, my alma mater, to use them as an example, the 2 seniors that they have this year, they're the winningest class in the history of Michigan women's basketball, and that's awesome. That's their legacy. Me, for example, I was the only senior in my class. I was the only one who stayed. I came in with 4 people, and I was the only one that lasted. And that's the legacy that I left. I had 5 freshmen on the team my senior year, and so what I left for them is a legacy. We didn't win a lot of games, but I taught them how to lead, and I taught them how to be resilient and how to persevere. And then those freshmen went on, and they went on to go to NCAA tournament their senior year. So everyone leaves a different type of legacy. What I want for these guys is I want them to be the class who had every reason to fold, every reason to quit, every reason to give in, every reason to be average, and they didn't. And they fought to the very end. And, it's maybe not the legacy that they wanted to leave when they got here. I'm sure nobody comes here with the intention of only winning 1 or 2 games in the Big 12. But it is what it is. And so I want Brew and Grayson and Angel and Lindsay, I want those guys to be better because of our 4 seniors. And so in order for them to do that, their legacy's not complete yet. They have 2 more games, and they better finish strong. And if they can do that, then they've left this better than how they found it. They've left Grayson and Brew and Angel and Lindsay better than how they found them.
Coach, I'm just curious what this has been like for you and your staff as you guys kind of finish out the year and how you guys have kind of kept everything together for yourselves personally.
Yeah, I believe that leadership starts at the top. And I think that the two most important components of anyone's brand is authenticity and consistency. And so I have tried very hard to be the leader that these young women need, and not just from a basketball sense, but off the court as well. I've been very consistent. I've been very authentic with them. I can honestly say that I have left this better than how I found it. And you can take that for however you want. But I know in my heart that these kids are more disciplined. They hold each other and themselves accountable more so than they did before, that they're more aware of what's going on in the world around them. I can honestly say that, and that I had a small role to play in that. And I will walk away with a great deal of pride and satisfaction because of the small role that I've played in helping these young women to grow.